minutes you'll be sweating. So right now, just embrace that coolness on your skin. Step up to the top of the mat, please, and bring your feet together. And you know that when we step up to the top of the mat and bring our feet together, would you like a mat, my friend? Okay.
We don't have it.
You're welcome. Oh, I have it in my car. Yeah. All right. So when we step up to the top of the mat and bring our feet together, it's as if we are saying, I am here and I am ready. Like when we're just kind of standing around, like chatting with each other, that's a different moment. And when we step right up to the top of the mat, bring our feet together. So we are stepping into our first pose. It's called Tadasana, the mountain pose. And we feel our feet grounding. You could even get so into it that you could feel the texture of the mat under your feet. You could feel the way your feet kind of push down and out so that you root down into the earth, and that creates something called press and rebound. So we press down and it creates this feeling of rising up. So see if you can look for that in your own body. We push down and out, and then the heart rises. More importantly, the pelvic floor rises. Let's bring our hands to heart center. It's a gesture, Namaskarasana. It's a gesture like you're praying. And for many of us, for me, yoga is a prayer. It's a body prayer in motion. An expression of our intention, embodied and then expressed. But this can also simply be a way to find your center, to be balanced, right? So you feel your left hand press your right hand press your left hand. You begin to notice subtle things like, is one side more dominant than the other? Am I committed to the seal of my hands, or am I passive about the way I press? Am I being super aggressive? Have I blocked my throat, or am I centered at the heart? Little things to notice. And they're nothing to judge. There's nothing good, bad, right, wrong about any of it. It's just a way to start to know yourself. And so that is what's happening in this practice. We are finding our way home, back to ourselves, back to our breath, back to our bodies. And so in this moment, we stand in our feet, we lift our hearts, we find our breath, and we say, I am here and I am ready. Now on your next inhale, let your arms rise up overhead. Just expand the lungs. And then exhale, bring your arms down by your sides. Good, just make them big like wings. Inhale, arms reach. And then exhale, arms by your sides. Amazing, again, inhale, arms reach. We're gonna add on this time. Exhale, forward fold. So fold right in, bow your head humbly. Let's stay there for a moment so you have the sense and feel for what might be going on in your body. Right? Some of you may not have done yoga in 3 weeks. Some of you have been doing it every day. Some of you played pickleball yesterday, right? Or carried heavy boxes, I don't know. But right now, feel what's happening in your body so you can be sensitive to that. Sometimes we forget and we have these weird expectations that we're going to be able to do what we did 10 years ago. But we need to think about what we're doing today and honor ourselves in every way. This will be an all levels practice, so I invite you, if you have a regular practice and there's something you want to add, if you have a variation that you want to explore, please do. And if I do something that feels a little crazy to you or a little absurd, then you back off, right? I'm going to try to make it meet the middle. Let's take a deep breath, lift the chest, look forward. And then exhale, fold again. Good. On the inhale, with that flat back, we'll rise to standing. Lift your head and chest, reach your arms high. Let's touch the palms up high to the sky, and then pull it to the heart center. Good. Moving on again. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. We're going to step back to plank. So both feet go to the back of the mat. It's an upper push-up position, which means that you're engaging your muscles. The legs are straight, the chest feels active. Hands push down and in. Yeah, the collarbones widen. Let's make sure that the legs are strong, so the hips and the legs aren't hanging down, they're lifting up. Lift the legs, lift the hips, draw the tailbone slightly toward the heels. Take one more breath, and then all together, let's just put our knees down softly, and then lower the chest forward and down, all the way to the belly, lay it flat. Good. Inhale for Cobra. It's a baby back bend. Be gentle with your spine on the first one. Exhale, release. Number 2, inhale for Cobra. So we come up on the in-breath, we fill our lungs, we squeeze the shoulder blades back, and then we exhale, release. Again, inhale for Cobra, press down into the pelvis, lift more through the heart. Let's widen those collarbones, and then exhale, release. Here's the last one, best one. Inhale, lift the chest, broaden. Let's lengthen back through our legs, and then exhale, let it down. Whew. All right, push up and back to downward facing dog. Some of you are in different places today. You're trying in different places. You're messing with me, Terry. I like it though. Yeah. All right. Sway a little bit. Let your hips lean to the right. And then let them lean to the left. See if there's anything hiding in there. Sometimes the side body is a little tight and we don't realize it. So feel that in your waistline. And then find center and let's push back. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, look forward. Let's walk our feet up to the top of the mat. Nicely done. Lift halfway. Inhale. Fold deeply. Exhale. We'll rise with a flat back. Inhale all the way up. Reach the arms up. And then hands come to heart center. Okay. Inhale. Arms reach. One more time. Surya Namaskar A. Exhale. Forward fold. On the inhale, we lift and lengthen. On the exhale, we go to plank and lower. Both feet back, lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale one time for Cobra. And then exhale back to downward facing dog. That's good. And so we'll breathe here. Let's bend the right knee so we get a little deeper stretch in the left leg. And then we'll switch that to the other side. Bend the left so you get a little extra love for the right side. And both hands are still pressing. Both arms feel strong. Let's go ahead and push both legs back. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just look forward. Let's walk our feet up to the top. Nice. Lift halfway. Inhale. Fold deeply. Exhale. With a flat back, we'll rise all the way up. Lift the head and chest. Reach your arms up high to the sky. And pull your hands to your heart. I see you, Pam Leo. I'm over here. No, I'm right in front of you. Mwah. Hi. Hi, Yulia. Inhale. Arms reach. Let's hook our thumbs together. Spread our fingers wide, just like the sunshine. And take it over to the right side. Yep. Again, feeling into your side body. There's a couple little things you can do here. Sometimes the tailbone slips out, so I'm going to ask you to draw it down. And then draw the head back. Look up toward your thumbs. Inhale, come back to the center, and then go to the other side. Nice and easy, simple movements. We don't have to do contortions to have them be purposeful and meaningful. Inhale, come back up to the center, and then pull the hands right to your heart. You're moving beautifully. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, sink your hips. We sit back and reach the arms. I know we have mixed feelings about this pose, but just find your breath. I want you to really sit in your heels and lift and flare all 10 of your toes. Just pick the toes up so the fascia on the sole of your foot starts to stretch. The bones in your feet start to widen. Good. Then put all 10 toes down and then lift your heels. Come up high on your tippy toes. Dig into the 10 toes. And then see if you can sit just a little lower. Right there. Pull your arms back behind you. Let them lift a little higher than your own body. Squeeze the shoulder blades and draw the chest and your gaze forward. Beautifully done, everyone. Let's sink the heels, reach the arms back into chair, and then push through your feet. Come on up. Take a little stretch at the top this time. Tailbone down, expand your heart, and then pull your hands right back to your heart center. Nicely done. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. We'll lift halfway on the in-breath. Soften the knees here. Let's put the fingertips down and lunge back with the right leg. So a big lunge to the back of the mat. Stay on your toes. We'll root the right hand down and twist open to the left, please. Oh yeah, I like it. This is our first rotation. So remember that we always go for elongation before rotation, right? So we don't want to sell out the spine and just crank it. We want to elongate. Draw the tailbone down, draw the crown forward, and then rotate the right side of your body under. Push a little with your right hand, and then pull in your waistline and open up that left chest. That's it. Eyes go down, hand goes down. Let's go to plank. Plank pose, hold. And then we'll keep the left hand down and roll into Vashisthasana, which is your side plank, taking your right arm, your right arm high to the sky. I wasn't sure which way I was supposed to go there. Tailbone down, crown of the head lengthening out, maybe even look up towards your thumb. It helps if you look up. Yep, it'll draw the head back in line with your tail. I got you. Lift from underneath. You're stronger than you think you are. Look right up at your own thumb, and then return to plank. Do it with grace. Try not to collapse, and then lower yourself slowly. It happens. Inhale for cobra, and then exhale, downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna walk the hands back to the feet. Please keep them at hip distance apart. Breathe. From here, we're gonna do a half chair pose. So bend your knees, sink your hips, but reach your arms forward. Body is like parallel to the mat, so the chest is low. The arms are reaching forward, biceps near the ears. And then press your palms together, pull them into your heart, and then tuck the right elbow inside the right knee. Right elbow goes inside right knee, and then we're twisting to the left. Left arm can exalt up to the sky. And then play with straightening your left leg. So we're still working into all of those little tight places. You can keep the left arm reaching, or you can take a half bind here. But make sure you have a beautiful lock with the right arm and the right knee. They press gently into each other, and they give you the leverage to elongate and rotate. And then just gently look down. Put the arm down, soften both knees, and recover. Nicely done. Now, like a rag doll, we're going to bend our knees, pull in the pelvic floor and the lower belly, and start to rise up slowly. Come up slow, stack your spine, and then lift your head high. Let's put our hands at heart center and just really mindfully walk to the top of the mat. It's not how I usually transition you, but that's what I'm feeling right now. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips for chair pose. Full-on chair pose. And again, here's one of those places where sometimes the booty sticks out in the back, like so we do that, and then we have a little pressure in our lower back. So if you can draw the tailbone down and lift your chest, you might be able to elongate upward, and then push through both feet. Let's come on up, stretch a little, and then bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway, lengthen here. Really push your fingers into your shins or the floor. Get the chest forward, and then soften your knees so you can touch the floor, and lunge back with your left leg. We want to get all 5 toes on that left foot grounded on the mat, and then we root into the left hand and twist open to the right side. Yeah. We want to use everything we have. We don't want to overuse anything or underuse anything. So this is how we create a sense of union. The pose becomes one action, not a lot of different actions. Yoga teaches us to first recognize all of the actions and then to bring them together. So right here, we're grounding our feet. Feet push down and out, legs draw into the hip sockets. And then we ground a little bit into the left hand, and we work to open up that right chest. Draw the chin slightly away from the chest. Look up towards your right hand. Beautifully done, everyone. Let's look down. Put the hand down. Step to plank. We'll hold the plank pose, but this time roll onto your right side, facing left for Vashisthasana. The side plank. Now we're stronger than we think. See if you can find that engagement in the pelvic floor. Lift your center. See if you can look up at your thumb. It helps a lot if the head isn't forward, right? Slightly back. Lifting under head and find plank pose. Oh, it's okay. I was in a dead spot. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. You knew what to do. You guys are good without me. All right, so here we walk the hands to the back of the mat. Do it lightly like a cat, right? We're just kind of lightly, gracefully find our way back. Feet are hip distance apart, half chair. Bend your knees, sink your hips, reach forward. See if you can create that flat back feeling. So lower the head, lower the chest, then pull your hands to heart center. So good. Tuck the left elbow inside the left knee. Feel the lock. They press into each other on purpose, and then we exalt the arms. You can reach up and reach down, but just don't lose that lock in the left leg. Play with the right leg straightening. Create space. Draw the head out toward the center of your mat so your chin isn't tucking toward your chest. Yeah, we want to make some space. It's never really about how deep we go. It's about how much space we can create in the body. And we need our breath to get in there. So take another breath a little bit deeper. And then on your exhale, look down, let your arm down, soften both knees. And then we reintegrate the body. Come on up slowly like a rag doll. Pull in the belly, stack the spine. You feel your muscles organizing your bones. And then you stand tall right there. And just to be equal, let's go ahead and gracefully, mindfully walk to the top of the mat. Just notice how you get there. Hold your head high. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway on the in-breath. Let's go to plank pose. Stay in the upper push-up. I know it's not what you want to hear, but just for a moment, I want you to pause and listen to the birds. Oh my gosh, even with all of the traffic and everything that's all around us, we are in the middle of a beautiful little park and the birds are singing. It is a beautiful day. Take a deep breath in and then lower yourself down, knees or not. Inhale, up dog or cobra, and then exhale, find your way back to downward facing dog. Here we go, right foot steps up, left foot turns in. It's Virabhadrasana 1. Vira 1 is warrior pose. Chest plate is forward. We ground the back foot and we're breathing, right? Oh boy, the warrior. Turn the chest plate a little bit more forward. Find the passion. And so we kind of anchor through that back foot. We feel the pinky edge of the back foot pushing back into the mat, but at the same time we're drawing that left hip forward. So there's a little push and pull going on. That's it. I think we could bend our right knee a little bit deeper. That's it. Let's lean back just a touch so we feel a little more sensation in the front of the left hip, and then hold right there, but drop your arms down and behind your back. Let's clasp our hands together. Add a little more extension, a little more lift of the gaze, a little more lift of the heart, and then exhale, humble warrior. Bow your head right inside of your right knee. Try to keep your hips square. I know it's tempting to turn out to the left, but I want you to really work the action of that back leg. We're internally rotating the left leg, and we're trying to bring that left hip forward. Continue to root down purposefully through both of your feet, and then we root to rise. Come on up. Inhale, lift your head and chest. Nicely done. Arms reach. Let's take a flow. Hands down to the mat. Step back and lower, nice and slow. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, we press back to downward facing dog, and then warrior 1, left side. Left foot steps, right foot flat. Come on up. Take your time here. Develop the foundation. We're going to stay in the warrior stance. We're going to keep exploring, deepening, and expanding the pose. So we root the back foot, but as the right foot pushes back, the right hip draws a little forward. And know that all of these things that I am offering are micro movements. They might not even be things that we can see happening from the outside, but you can feel them, right? And each time we are able to do these little tiny new movements, these nuances add on to our experience. Our bodies and our muscles have memory. So every warrior you have ever done in your life has informed the one that you're doing now. Lift your chest a little, reach up a little higher. I think you could bend the front knee a little bit because we get carried away with reaching up that we start to go up, right? But we want to go down as we go up to find that balance. Hold where you are. Let's take our hands behind our back, interlace with the other index finger in front. Do the weird one. And then humble. Bow your head. Stay centered. Resist that temptation to turn open. Keep grounding that back foot. And there's only a slight turnout on the back foot. We don't want it turned all the way out, and we don't want it straight forward because we need to give that hip some room to move. Here, we're going to bend into that front knee just a touch more, and then that feeling, root to rise. Press through your feet. Come on up slow. Yes, inhale, the arms to the sky. Exhale, take a flow. Hands down, step back lightly, lower slowly. Beautiful, beautiful. Inhale for cobra or up dog. I'm seeing both. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, so how are we? Are we getting warmed up? We starting to feel better? I see legs waving in the air. Yeah, you can just go, woo! Yeah, that's good. You're starting to get a little serious on me. Let's look at our hands, and this time we can jump, step, or walk to the top of the mat. Do it your way. Inhale, lift halfway. Good. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips, chair pose, Utkatasana. And then we press through both feet and we come up, stretch to the sky, and then please pull your hands to your heart. So we're going to put that all together, and sometimes it feels a little bit like a frenzy. When we do Surya Namaskar B, especially in a group this size, there is no way for us to all be in sync. And so I want you to actually honor yourself in this way. I want you to feel the rhythm of your breath right now. How long does it take for you to inhale completely? And then how long does it take for you to exhale completely? Remember that the breath is the foundation of the practice, and we are matching the movements to the rhythm of the breath. We are not trying to let the breath catch up to the things that we're doing. Our breath is the foundation of our mindfulness. And so however long it takes you to inhale right now, just let your arms rise. They get to the top when you're full. So time your movement with your breath. Yes, and then exhale, bring the arms down. Do you see how nice and slow you were able to go? It's just like that in the Surya Namaskar B. We're going to start with chair pose. So inhale, bend your knees, sink your hips, reach your arms. That's how you fill up. And then exhale, fold in, empty out. Lift halfway, take your time, fill your lungs, and then go to plank pose and lower as you empty. Good. Inhale here, take the back bend of your choice, and then exhale back to down dog right away. Right foot steps, left foot flat. We'll rise into warrior one. It's one deep breath, and as soon as you're ready to exhale, we come right back down. That's it. Cobra on the inhale, downward facing dog on the exhale, and step into warrior on the left side. You might want to pull your mat back. His feet are really close to you. I don't want you to get kicked. Okay. Taz, can you move your mat up a little bit? All right, I left you going on the other side on your own. I apologize. I thought there was a situation that I needed to address. So we meet in downward facing dog, and then we're going to have to do it again. That's all. So we meet in downward facing dog. Take a moment, reconnect with the rhythm of your breathing. Okay. That's it. Let's take one more breath in together. Make a sound. Little exhale, release. Ah. Okay, look forward. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Here's your chair pose. And then push through your feet. Let's come all the way up and bring the hands to heart center. Okay, so you with me? We're going to do it again. You okay? We're going to do it again. All right, bend your knees, sink your hips. Let's go. Chair pose. That's your in-breath. Exhale, forward fold. Dive in deeply. Lift halfway on your inhale. We go to plank and lower on the exhale. Okay, inhale for cobra. Exhale, just touch down dog and come into warrior one. Right foot steps, left foot flat. We rise as we create our warrior pose. And then exhale, it's right back down. Hands down, step back, lower. Beautiful. Breathe in as you do your back bend. Breathe out as you touch down dog and come into warrior on the left side. Left foot steps, right foot flat. We rise as we breathe in. We exhale as we come back down. Beautiful. Step back and lower. Last time, inhale for cobra. Exhale, go to down dog and take 5 breaths. Yes, take 5 breaths. Feel that breath drawing in through your nose and out through your nose. Arms are strong, hips are rising. Get a little support from the pelvic floor. It'll help you lift. Last inhale right here. And then exhale, look forward. Let's walk our feet up to the top of the mat. Okay, lift halfway on the inhale. Let's fold on the exhale. Last time here, bend your knees, sink your hips. It's your chair pose. Let's hold. Bring your hands to heart center. Right away, right elbow across to the outside of the left knee. So we're going a little deeper than the first twist. And we're going to push the elbow into the knee and push the knee into the elbow. Create some leverage. If you want to exalt your arms, you're welcome to. But I will ask you to bend your knees a little. Get your hips a little lower than your heart. See if you can get your heart to rise just a little bit here. Yeah, we're going to press into the elbows so the sit bones drop slightly. Go ahead, just a little. No? Okay. Yeah. And then we look down and we let it go. Yep. Okay. We look down and we let it go. I said last time that it has to be a second time because we got to twist to the other side. So go ahead, bend your knees, sink your hips, draw the tailbone down, bring your hands to your heart. We twist to the other side. Left elbow comes across, outside to the right knee. We create our lock. Optional exalt. That's it. Maybe the tailbone drops and the chest rises. Yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge, but it feels really nice. We can make space and elongate the spine. Beautifully done. Go ahead, release and let go. Let your head down. Take a long, slow, deep breath in, and then open your mouth and let out a sigh, like a little discharge of energy. And then please bend your knees a little, tuck your tailbone and tuck your belly in, and tuck your chin, and start to roll yourself up really slowly. Okay, so here we are, standing at the top of the mat with our feet together, remembering that feeling of like, I am here and I am ready. And believe it or not, this is the essence of the first teaching of yoga. Atha Yoga Anusasanam. Yoga begins now. And so we thought our practice began when we stepped up at the first time to Tadasana, at the practice. But at this moment, as we step to the top of the mat, it's like we're saying it all over again. Each and every moment stands alone. We have learned from all the experience we've had since that first time we stepped up on the mat. And here we are right now in this moment, ready. Let's open our eyes and stand still for a moment as the ambulance passes. And send a little love to whoever they're going to, and a little gratitude to the people in that ambulance going to them. Never ever take that for granted. Every single one of us at some point in our life might need to dial 911, right? And they are there for us. They are at service. So we can stop our practice for a moment and remember. And then root down into your right leg a little more strongly and go ahead, lift your left knee up to your chest. Yeah. Let's take the hands to heart center again to help find that center, help find that balance, that equal pressure. And then we're going to take that left leg and we're going to send it back behind us for warrior 3. Actually, we'll make it Degasana, so we'll take the arms out behind us and lift the arms a little higher than the back. Good. And then come back to standing, bring the left knee to the belly. We'll hold right there. Can you bend your right knee enough that it feels like chair pose in the right leg, but you're lifting the left knee super high? And then we're going to cross the left over the right. Sit a little deeper, maybe the left toes can touch your mat. Again, sweep your arms back. Take the arms behind your back, lift them a little higher than your body, and find that subtle micro movement where the legs integrate into each other. The bottom one pushes up, the top one pushes down, they hug and create one action. Now as you come to standing, the arms sweep to the sky, the left knee comes back up to the chest. Now I'm going to ask you to time it. So this is all about grace. The arms come down at the same time that the foot touches down on the mat. And then we stand again just for a moment. Lift and broaden your chest. Make your breath, allow your breath to make you feel more alive. Feel that cool breeze on your skin. Listen to the birds. I think they like Taz's music. All right, let's put a little weight into the left leg, as if to say, I trust you, left leg. I know you're going to hold me. And then pull the right knee up to the belly. As we do this, try not to lean forward. Hold your head high. Hands are in prayer position. We push down through the left. We lift up through the right. Maybe even flex the right foot. And then slowly take that leg behind you. As your leg goes back, sweep your arms back and up. Finding that balance. Focus your eyes. Stay centered. Amazing. And then we come back to center, hands at the heart, right knee to the belly. We hold that, but then we create chair pose in the left leg. So we sit down, we sit low, and then we lift the right one a little higher so it can cross over, and then we sit into it so that we can get our right toes down, and we feel that integration of the legs. Arms sweep back behind as you lower your chest. Feel the legs working together. Square your hips if you can. Right hip back, left hip forward. Belly in, off of the thighs. Yes, beautiful. Beautiful work. Everyone's so serious. Let's come back to standing. Reach the arms as you lift that right knee high. And then time it. Take your time. We're going to put the foot down as the arms return to our sides. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on the exhale. Move through a flow, through a vinyasa. Inhale for cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take the right foot and step it to the right hand. Please stay on your left toes and we'll rise up into high crescent lunge for just a moment. Don't get too attached, just create the form and then turn open to your left for warrior 2. So I'm going to mess with your brain a little bit. So the bottom of our body is open wide. Our hips are extending outward, right? There's external rotation in the right leg. And we are doing our best to bend the right knee, open it slightly, right? Micro movements. And maybe even track the right knee over the right ankle. Now, in order to keep that action, we need to find that lift in the pelvic floor. And that lift is also apparent under the arch of your left foot and all the way up the inseam of your left leg. So don't forget what your left leg is doing. That's it. Now, we're going to take our arms and we're going to sweep them down and go into eagle arms. So we're going to go left under right. Left under right. The back arm swings under the front arm. Now, lift your elbows as high as your chest and then move your hands a little bit away from your face. And so let your brain wrap around the idea that your upper body is contracting into the midline and your lower body is moving away from the midline. The tailbone draws down, the head is high, and we're breathing. We're breathing to keep everything calm in the nervous system. I think you could bend your right knee just a touch, and then just for fun, pick up your right heel. Oh, pick it up, go on your toes. Lift the elbows just a touch, and then put the heel down and sweep your arms back open to warrior two. Oh, so sweet. Let's reverse warrior. Drop the left arm down, reach the right arm up. Sideways long, belly drawing in. Take one more breath here, look up toward your fingers, and then return to warrior two and just say it. Straighten the right leg and let out a discharge of energy. Yes, I love that. That is the truth right there. And then we take triangle, Trikonasana. So in triangle pose, try not to go 110% at first. Give this pose a chance to evolve. Start just gently, but then be curious and see if it continues to go. So that right hand could be on your right shin, and it could eventually slide down toward the ankle. Might not make it. Some of you, if you're patient, you might make it all the way to the foot or the floor. And the goal is not to touch the ground. The goal is to keep the heart open. Draw your tailbone down, draw your head, neck, and shoulders back. Okay. Let's take the left arm, wrap it behind the back. Feel the back of your hand press into your body so that your left chest opens just a little more. And then see if you can do this with both legs straight, because I'm going to ask you to take your right hand and place it on your heart. So if you're relying on that bottom arm, now you've got to rely on your legs. Extend the heart out. Draw the head back slightly. Yes, right there. Take a breath. And then let your arms exalt. One goes up, one goes down. Releasing the arms and then returning to warrior two. Nice. Take a breath. And then take a flow. Both hands go to the mat. We'll step the right foot back and lower. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, a big inhale and then a sound on the exhale. Just let it out. I didn't hear you. Deep breath in. What does it sound like? Oh, yes. Left foot steps up. Stay on your right toes. We'll come on up facing forward. High crescent lunge, knowing that this is just a transitional moment. And then we turn open to the right, ground that back heel, and create warrior two. Now, every warrior we have ever done has informed this one, even the one we just did on the other side. So if there was a cue that I might have said out loud that you were able to integrate in your body, could you find that right now? What I don't want for you is for you to become reliant on my cues. What I want you to do is to start to have experiences in your body so that you realize you are your own greatest teacher. Right? So what is your best warrior in this moment? Create the foundation, work in the feet and the legs, balance the work in the pelvis. And then we're going to take those eagle arms, right under left. So we draw the back arm under, the elbows cross, the back of the hands can press, or you can cross at the wrists and touch the palms together. And then here the elbows rise a little bit higher and the hands move away from the face. Again, let your brain have a moment here. We're doing a widening at the bottom and a narrowing at the top, right? Away from the midline and into the midline. We are grounding out in the bottom and integrating into the center at the top. And so just be in all of that and see if it can be one pose. We merge all of the energies to create this one energy. That's it. Let's bend the left knee just a touch. Open it a little bit wider. And then pop up that left heel. Beautiful. Everyone is so serious. Go ahead, put that heel back down. Let's sweep our arms back out wide. Oh, it feels so good. And then reverse warrior. Enjoy the space. Right arm down, left arm up. We look up toward the left thumb. We have a focal point, right? The drishti point. We look up at the thumb tip. And we reach like we mean it to the sky as we bend deeper into the foundation, creating that up and that down. That there's balance in the pose. And then please come back to warrior two and straighten your front leg. Here it is. Say it. Just say it out loud. Ah, yes, thank you. Okay, triangle. Your expression of triangle. So many opportunities, so many different variations, right? But we got to be patient. The side body is not part of our normal everyday movement. So when we move into the side body, we want to be patient. The inner thighs, the outer hips, just give them time to lengthen. Let them work with gravity. Keep aligning, tailbone down, head, neck, shoulders back. Just keep working on that plane. And then we'll do a half bind. Wrap the right arm behind the back. The back of your hand can create some pressure to help you draw that right shoulder blade back and draw the chest open. I love it. Now, check in with your feet and your legs. Make sure you feel nice and sturdy in your foundation, and then take your left hand to your heart. That's it. So we press our hands into our body on the front and in the back, and we keep the form of the pose. If you feel like you're leaning forward, see if you can lean back a touch. Yes, creating space. I see you. Take one more breath here, and then exalt your arms. One to the sky, one down to the earth. Prepare, and then rise back up to warrior two. Nicely done. Take a breath, and then please take a flow. Both hands come down. You step back lightly, lower slowly. You can say, hell no, yasa, and go right to down dog. You could even go to child's pose. And here you could start adding double chaturangas, right? So it depends how you feel. It's an all levels public class, so we have to all be able to get what we need. Push back a little bit. Okay. Let's go ahead and drop softly onto our knees. Tabletop pose. Okay. Find that tabletop. Steady. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, belly to the spine. The right arm is going to sweep up and out to the right. So just open the chest wide. And then go ahead and thread the needle. It's nice to have you close to me. All right, so when we thread the needle, we've got to create some roots with that right hand. The back of the right hand presses into the earth. Make sure you're using that hand well. And then there's a lot of variations that you can take with your left hand. You can keep it right by your face, or you can extend it up over bicep near the ear and get the sideways long. But once you get your hands grounded, there's even a half bind option here. Once your hands are steady, go ahead and extend your left foot back. Just step back. You can tuck your toes at the back of the mat and just get a sense of the feel there. You also have the option to lift that leg high. Beautiful. Take a moment. And then gracefully, softly, bring the left leg back down. Push into your left hand and sweep the right arm back up and open to the sky. Open the chest big, release the shoulder, and then come back to your tabletop. Same thing other side. Left arm sweeps open wide. And then we thread it through. And if you're having trouble getting your shoulder down, open your knees wider. Right? If you're having trouble getting down on the shoulder, you can definitely open the stance. But then we got to ground. If you want to be able to float your leg, you got to feel your roots, right? We always need our roots if we want to fly. So the back of that left hand is pressing. The right hand is grounded, and then maybe the right foot steps back. You can just tuck your toes, or you could even float that leg up in the air behind you. Very nice. I see people adding on extra variations, whatever makes you happy in this moment. If you have it in your practice, play. And then we'll really gracefully, carefully bring that right leg back down. Push into the right hand so you can sweep the left arm back open. Open the chest, reach with your arm, and then return to your table. Good. Let's go ahead and have a seat. Go ahead and sit back on your heels or swing your feet in front of you for simple cross legs. For some of us, that's not so simple. So you find a comfortable seat where you can be mindful of your own posture. If you feel like it would help, you could sit up on something. Some of you bring blocks with you. You have a rolled up towel or a shirt. You could sit on that. You could even sit on your shoes if you want to elevate your hips to help relax them a little bit. And so what I'm interested in most is relieving discomfort here. Finding a place that is doable for you so it's sustainable. We don't want to be distracted by the discomfort of the body because we want to give this moment to the mind. We're going to take our mind and forget the movement, and we're going to follow the breath. We're going to follow the breath in, and then follow the breath out. And I know that might seem simple, and that might mean that your mind wanders. It's okay. Always be grateful that you have an active, creative mind. We do not want to ever shut the mind down. We want to discipline. We want to look to abide in the spaces between our thoughts. Every one of us is thinking like 100,000 thoughts a day, right? And so if you can just find the space between the thoughts and remember that you're paying attention to your breath, you might realize that there is quiet that lives inside of you. It's just not getting enough of our attention. And so meditation is a practice. Meditation is a discipline. For some of us, this is harder than any pose I could throw at you physically. But we don't trump, oh, I don't want that word, forget that word. We don't put asana over breath or asana over mind. The practice is teaching us to cultivate appreciation for all of it. It's skills, mad skills, for navigating this life, especially in challenging times. And so we sit and we witness and we ask the judge to rest. There's nothing right or wrong, good or bad, about anything that happens in the time that you allot for sitting. Let's go ahead and take one more deep breath here. And then let your chin drop to your chest. Just let your posture soften. Let your back melt a little bit. And then uncross your legs. Place your feet on the ground in front of you. The feet can be together. And then we're going to straighten our spine up. Straighten up nice and tall, lift and widen the collarbones, and lean back for both pose Navasana. Right? So we're going to lean back a little bit, but you got to work the hip flexor, work the core. So the abdominal wall is working. If you want to, you pick your feet up. And we reach forward with the arms. As the arms reach out in front of you, draw the shoulder blades down your back, and realize that the bottom of your shoulder blades can help lift the heart space. Yes, use them. Strengthen the back to open up the heart. Now, take the arms out like a T. squeeze the legs together as the arms open wide. Yeah, I'm gonna mess with your brain again. Bring your arms together, take your legs open wide. Yep, let's do it again. Arms come out, legs squeeze in. Belly in, head high. One more time. Arms in, legs out. And then this time, knees to belly. Good, place your feet down, let your head rest on your knees. Soften your back in case it was straining. And then please, engage the abdominal wall. Pull the lower belly in, the belly button to the spine for support, and then we are gonna lay ourselves down. I want you to lay down slowly. Be careful, take your time. The slower you go, the more musculature you engage. Yeah. And then just feel what that feels like to lay it out. Go ahead and gently roll your head to the right. And then gently roll your head to the left. Let's come back to the center. Bend your knees and then cross the right knee over the left knee. Right knee crosses over left knee. So kind of like we did in that balance work. And then go ahead and pick that up and squeeze it into your belly. So not ankle to knee, actually knee over knee. So like a Gomukhasana on the back, right? But we start soft, we start gently. And so it's knee over knee and we're hugging both of them in. And then go ahead and separate your feet. See if you can see one foot sticking out on each side and then reach with your hands and grab a hold of your feet. As you reach for your feet, you draw the knees a little closer to your chest. A really nice hip opener here. And non-aggressive, right? Be gentle. Now, as you let go of the hold on your feet, can you wrap the right one around your left one? So an eagle bind with the feet. So bring the feet close together. See if you can wrap the right around your left ankle. Yep, like eagle, right? Eagle on your back. Good. Arms out like a T, spread your wings. And then bring the arms up over the chest, right under left for eagle arms. Inhale, expand the space between your elbows and your knees. And then exhale, squeeze them together. 2 more times. Inhale, expand the space, open up a little, and then exhale, draw them in. Nice. And then last one. And exhale, bring it in. The best part now, release your arms out like a T, uncross your legs and let them return to the mat. Yeah, be still. Just be still. Breathe. And then we'll go ahead and bend our knees. Cross the left over the right, knee to knee. Go ahead and draw both knees into the belly. And as you squeeze them in, you can start to see that if you separated your feet, there'd be one sticking out on either side. And then you can reach and grab them. If not, you can just hug both knees into your body. You don't really have to take any of the variations. You gotta really honor yourself here. Do what feels good and right. Your intuition will always tell you the truth. It's just that we need to recognize that voice. And so we're pulling the feet kind of apart, enhancing or accentuating that hip stretch. Breathing deeply. And then when you let go of your feet, you bring your feet together, ankles close to each other, and then maybe the left one slips under and around the right. The arms go out like a T, and then we take eagle arms, left under right, please. Expand the space between your elbows and your knees, and on the exhale, squeeze them in together. Yep. Again, we're going to do 3 times, opening it up and then squeezing it in. One more time, a little space between on the inhale, a little contraction on the exhale. And then let your arms go out like a T, uncross your legs and place them back on the mat. That's it. Okay. Bend your knees. We'll draw the knees back in. You don't need your hands on this one. Just keep the arms out like a T. And then let's take a spinal twist over to the right. Both legs and your hips go around to the right. The chest opens wide. And then we look out to the left. We try to relax across the left chest, knowing that our time for effort is done. And now it's a time for softening. We are making a transition to sacred rest. And so in this moment, there's something really, really amazing about letting go of effort, right? Softening in, creating a little more sensitivity. So take a nice, long, slow, deep breath in, and a complete breath out. And then find your way back up to the center and over to the other side. You can already start to feel it happening. Things are softening, like even the way we move to the other side feels less aggressive and more sensitive. Our arms are open like a T, our heart space is wide open, and we look out toward our right hand. So our spine is rotating on the bottom to the left, and on the top it's opening toward the right. It's as if we could wring out any last bits of tension that might be living in us. I imagine that after this week, some of us came here today with a little tension. So my hope is that the practice helps us to process that and let it go. To help us find our way home to that place inside where there might actually be a little space between your breaths. To a knowing that when we stand in our feet, that we are in the present moment. And to try to live from there. Not as vulnerable to the external forces of the world, but more resilient and more reliant on our own skills. Can you please not give a ticket to that car? That belongs to the people who did the setup. It was loaded with all of our gear. Can you just not? Please? Let's come back to center. All right. Let's put our feet down. If there's any last movement that you need in your body, take it. And then we extend our legs all the way out, our arms all the way out. And we find our way into the stillness. awakening slowly. Just be gentle with yourself. Maybe you start with a few breaths or a little bit of movement in your fingers or your toes. And it feels a little bit like time to move a little bigger. You just start to get the arms and the legs involved. And you gather yourself up, all of the parts of you, all of the amazing things that make you you. We pull them all together in this moment. And we'll come and return ourselves to a seated position. That same feeling of I am here and I am ready. And so we step into our day with the same level of integrity as we do when we step on the mat and we begin our practice. Because everything we do on the mat is just a metaphor for life. The ups and downs, when we feel all twisted into a pretzel, we feel laid out and calm. Any Vinyasa practice could just be like any normal day of my life, you know? And so here we are in transition from our practice to our day, and we want to, in this moment, step into it with the same level of purpose and integrity as we do our practice. We hold our heads high, we keep our feet on the ground, and we keep that breath flowing in the hopes that we might capture some moments in between our thoughts where we feel calm and resilient and strong to be able to weather life's storms. We're going to close our practice, as always, with the beautiful and sacred sound of Om. I'm going to take this down. And so hands at the heart to find your center. And then we find our voices. And our voices will rise together into one beautiful sound, the sound of the universe, that beautiful and sacred sound of Om. So today, 3. I want you to do one for yourself. One, like a pat on the back for showing up. The second one, I want you to direct towards someone. See them as you make the sound. Direct some of this energy you have in you right now, this peace, and share it with somebody else. And then the last one, may our voices rise together. And may that last Om, that third Om, be dedicated to the greater good, right? To our community, to our nation, to all of our brothers and sisters all over this planet. May we all know this peace. So together, let's take that first deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, perfect peace. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May the actions of my life and all of our lives somehow contribute to that happiness and that freedom for all, so that we may all know peace, peace, perfect peace. Namaste.